Hey everybody, it's me Amanda with Once in a Wild, and welcome back to another Once in a Wild Wednesday. Sorry for the brief delay. We were having a little bit of technical problems, but we're here now and we're happy to be here to bring the zoo to you virtually like we try to do each and every week across social media. And we are over on Instagram today, and as you can see, my co-host is already with me. It's Iggy the Guinea Pig. So we've got a really special and fun show for you guys to enjoy today, live right here on the live stream across social media. That's hard to say 5 times fast, or one time at all, apparently. And I think without further ado, since we are running just a tad behind, let's go ahead and get started. Is it not streaming to Twitch? I have Twitch checked off, so it should be streaming to Twitch behind the scenes out there. So just double check. It is checked. So I don't know if we're not on Twitch or not. Ricky is saying no. And I'm getting a message from Twitch, so I think it is. So there's Viviana on Twitch. So I think we're actually okay. You just keep double checking out there. So if you ever have any problem seeing the show, or if it looks blurry, or if the sound is off, or anything at all, please let me know at any time. That way we can always continue to improve. So I'm so glad that you are seeing it on Twitch. I'm really happy that we're broadcasting all of the things, or all the places that we're supposed to. So hello once again, my name is Amanda, and this is Once in a Wild Wednesday. And Once in a Wild is our mobile zoo located right here in South Texas, which is in San Antonio, Texas specifically, but we can service cities around San Antonio in person, and we can service the entire world virtually through Zoom, and of course during our live streams. I thought I would bring a few animals on the show that actually get along together. So our first animal is going to be out here right now. His name is Iggy, and he is a guinea pig. But typically on the show, we bring out 3 animals, more or less, maybe more, maybe less sometimes, and talk about the species and teach you all about them and answer your questions. And by the way, feel free to ask all of the questions you would like, whether they happen to pertain to what is going on today, or whether you're just curious about what we do, or you have a question about the other animals I work with, or the other animals that we actually provide here at Once in a Wild. We are a mobile zoo, so that means we can go to classrooms, we can go to birthday parties, all sorts of events, of course, in person, and we also do have Zoom encounters too, where we teach you guys about the animals. All of those encounters are customizable, and you can actually choose the animals you get to meet. If you're not a fan of furry animals, we have a whole lot of scaly and even creepy crawly animals too. And that is actually our biggest variety here at Once in a Wild, is our reptiles, amphibians, and creepy crawlies. So we have a little bit of something for everybody. As you can see, we have furry creatures as well. We even provide petting zoos where all the animals are very, very petable, of course, and interactive, and of course safe for the public to touch and mingle with safely. But we also have animals that are more hands-off that we would bring to you just for looking at. For example, the owl. Our owl Rango was on the show last week. If you missed it, you can check the broadcast. It actually uploads to YouTube and Facebook and several other places, Instagram as well. It's over there as well. And you can check out the show if you missed it. Our owl was on that show, our opossum, and I believe our scorpion was on the show last time. All 3 of those are more hands-off, although the scorpion is becoming a more holdable animal for certain guests in certain situations. She's actually a very good animal for conquering your fears of creepy crawlies. But some of our animals are more hands-off, and some of our animals are more hands-on. So of course, you might be familiar with guinea pigs. Guinea pigs are actually excellent pets for the right family. As long as you take good care of them, they will take good care of you as well. They're very sweet animals, very safe to be around. So he's actually one of the animals we offer in a petting zoo, or just because, or even animal therapy. Iggy is a great therapy animal. Before I forget, we want to talk about how you can help Once in a Wild and what's been going on lately with us. This is whoa, please don't jump off the cliff there, Iggy. He doesn't realize there's a platform right here. I'm going to set him a little bit further up so you guys can see him, and also so he doesn't back off the cliff here. And by the way, it's not that high up. He will be fine. He'll be on a table, and I have him under control, so he will be just fine. But he likes to back up into the person because he really enjoys the attention. But so if you like what you see here today, or you want to support our animals like Iggy and all the other animal ambassadors that we take care of here at Once in a Wild, we do rescue some animals, we do adopt some animals, and all of our animals actually do, once they enter once in a wild and stay with us, they are going to have a forever home with us as long as they are alive. And we're going to take good care of them as best we can, but we do rely on your donations, your purchases of animal encounters, of course, and anything at all that you would like to sponsor or donate to us. You can even donate items via our Amazon wish list is another option for you. If you don't want to donate money, that's okay. You can actually go to our Amazon wish list, and you can even sponsor our pets. Or you can sponsor the pets and animals you like the best is what I'm trying to say. I think I was trying to say best and like ones you like best, and it came out pets. Our animals aren't really pets, although some of them can be pets to some people. Of course, like a guinea pig or a rabbit or a cockatiel, things like that. There's a lot of choices there. But our animals are animal ambassadors. So they're not really pets. They actually do have a job and a very, very important purpose. Not that pets aren't important too, but our animals are part of our career, of course. So they're a little bit more advanced than pets. But anyway, if you would like to, you like Iggy the best, or you like so-and-so the best, you can actually sponsor those animals over on Patreon and become one of our new patrons. That's very, very new for us. And any of those options are great. You can actually visit onceinawild.com/donate to learn more about your options as far as donations and sponsorships and all sorts of things that you can help us out. And that is greatly appreciated no matter how little or how large the donation is or what you decide to donate. The best way to help us out, though, is by, of course, watching the show when we're on live. Thank you very much for already being here. You're doing great. But another great way to help us out that's free is by following us on social media and sharing the videos, liking, subscribing. We actually hit 5,000 followers over on Instagram just recently this week, which is really exciting. We're very, very proud of that. I'm sure we'll continue to get more and more, which is so exciting. That's a free way you can help us out. But another way that you can help us out, of course, is the best way. And that's to purchase your own custom animal encounter that's just for you and where you can get something in return. You can enjoy the animals in person or virtually, the animals that you would like to meet. You can learn all about them. You can talk to me directly and learn from me about the animals or one of our staff about the animals. And we've got all sorts of different types of animal programming. A lot of it is, of course, educational, and we try to always be educational in some way, shape, or form. And we try to inform you and make sure you get something in return that you can, take with you forever, so to speak. But also, some of our encounters are a little more casual. So we can, of course, do a formal presentation where we're basically teaching you about the animals in a show and tell format or style, if you will, where the animals kind of come out one by one. You learn about them. You get to ask questions, of course. Those are great for classrooms, birthdays, whatever, really. A lot of people enjoy the show and tell format. But we also offer meet and greets, which are a lot more casual. This can be great for gatherings with small children, or maybe you just don't want to sit down and hear a whole spiel about the animals. Maybe you just want to approach the animals and maybe pet them or take photos with them, or even just ask questions at your leisure. Meet and greet is really a great option for you there. And also we offer petting zoos. I'm having a hard time speaking today for some reason. We also offer petting zoos as well, which are kind of like traditional petting zoos, but we actually offer smaller animals in our petting zoo. We actually don't have very large animals, not yet anyway, maybe someday, but we work with the space that we have. And again, we want to make sure the animals that we adopt or take in, rescue, whatever the case may be, we want to make sure that once we decide to take in those animals into our zoo, that they are with us forever. They're actually never going to be rehomed. So we have to make sure that we can, of course, take care of them and that we have the space for them. So the animals we have in our petting zoo, animal encounter, if you will, are going to be on the smaller side. So you're going to actually get to meet guinea pigs like Iggy. We typically bring 2 of them. It's usually Iggy and Dexter, our black guinea pig, who has short hair, and Dexter has long hair. Those are our 2 most tolerant guinea pigs when they, to be touched and things like that. We also have 2 other guinea pigs that sometimes occasionally visit too, and they do pretty well. We've also got a bearded dragon, at least one that will visit as well. We've got our tortoises, typically 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 tortoises attend. We've actually got 4 tortoise friends now. They're all red-footed tortoises, and they are super sweet and not a biting type of tortoise that would hurt you. They're super gentle. They don't even dig, and they're very, very safe to be around as well. And they don't get very large as well. So we can house them for as long as they live. They don't get super duper large like some other tortoises. Still a big commitment because tortoises live a long time, right? But anyway, so tortoises are going to be part of it. You'll also get to meet our Flemish giant rabbit, Sandor. I thought about bringing him on the show today, but to be frank with you, it's a little bit of, well, it's a lot of work to bring him on the show because he's so large. A Flemish giant rabbit is one of the largest breed of rabbit in the world, and Sandor weighs about 22 pounds, more or less. So he's a big handful to have on this little, virtual version of our programming, right? So he doesn't always fit right on screen, right, Iggy? So I thought about bringing Iggy instead. He's a little bit easier to bring, and he can actually be out here the entire time and just hang out with us and be my co-host for the night. I hope that's okay with you guys. But Sandor always attends our petting zoo too. Super petable, another great therapy animal. The only thing that Sandor doesn't care for is actually being picked up or held or put in laps. So typically Sandor is either on top of a tabletop where we have something plush for him to lay down on or sit on right here, like this kind of plush mat here. He really seems to do well that way. Or we can, of course, put him in the grass, and we have a little pin that goes around our animals and around you while you're enjoying them. And the last animals that are standard with our petting zoo are our Pecan Ducks, Gansito and Lucas. Gansito and Lucas are another couple of animals that are really hard to bring on the live stream, although I do want to do more videos with them in some way, shape, or form, but they're pretty much strictly outdoors because they're so big and they're not like dangerous or anything like that. It's not that. They're just very messy being a duck. Ducks are extremely well, they go to the bathroom a lot, so they're very messy. They also, of course, molt a lot of feathers, and they're wet usually and splashing, so it's not ideal for a studio such as this. I'm in a studio right now. We have a backdrop behind me and everything, but there's a lot of electronics like computers and cameras and phones around me, so that's not super ideal. But I would love to start doing more live streams, maybe like on TikTok or Instagram, where we go out and see the pecans where they are, which is outdoors. But the Pecan Ducks, always 2 of them. Guinea pigs, usually 2 of them. Bearded dragon, usually 1. Sandor, we only have 1. The rabbit, just 1. And then we've got at least 1 to 3 tortoises, maybe even 4 sometime. Maybe we'll bring 4 tortoises. 2 of our tortoises are extra small, so they're super easy to bring at once. And we actually have 2, well, we have Shelton, who is the largest tortoise we have currently, but he is not that big either, so he can easily come along with some of another tortoises, the other tortoises. But anyway, those are our standard 5 species that you get with our version of a petting zoo, and it's really, really popular. In fact, we were just on the news again. We actually did a pre-taping of just a tiny example of what our petting zoo includes. We did a pre-tape where we were talking all about that and some of our other options. Iggy keeps backing it up into my chest here. He's like easing up off of the platform. He's like leaning up against me. Where are you going? I don't want you to hang your little hiney off the edge there. So part of the reason, I'm going to be honest with you guys, part of the reason to have the mat like this is to keep them comfortable, obviously, to give them something nice to kind of hang out on with traction, but it's also just in case there's potty accident. So that's another kind of little trick of the how do you say that? Trick of the trade, where animals, of course, are going to go to the bathroom sometimes, especially guinea pigs and, tortoises and animals like that. So we want to make sure and keep our guests clean. And our tables clean as best we can. I mean, we can only do so much, but they're animals and they're going to go potty sometimes. That's just part of the job and part of your animal encounter too. But we always try to be as clean as possible and keep our animals as comfortable as possible. And it's super easy to potentially just switch out a mat. But if he goes potty on this, it'll absorb a little bit. That's another reason why we do that. Okay, so I'm going to address some of y'all's questions. Thank you so much for being here once again. If you are just joining us, my name is Amanda. This is Once in a Wild Wednesday, where each and every Wednesday we try to go live across social media of all types. We're not on TikTok tonight. We're on almost everywhere else tonight, including Instagram. Hi, Instagram. And if you guys do have questions, feel free to ask your questions about any of the animals that we actually have. It could be about Iggy. It could be about some of the animals coming out next. It could be about any of the animals we have or any of the animals at all, because I have worked with so many different animals in my career in the last 20 plus years that I've worked with animals. So you can try to stop me with questions. It's always fun for me to try to learn new things. So when you ask me questions that I don't know the answer to 100%, it's okay. I will try to learn for you and get back to you. And it gives me an excuse to learn new things, which is part of the job and one of my favorite things about the job. Partially why I got into zoology and animals is to learn so many things about our planet and about the animals that I love. I've always loved animals since I was very little. Some of my first memories are me being outside in the mud looking for snails and slugs and bugs and snakes and things like that. And catching snakes and looking at them. I was basically a tomboy growing up. And I was out with my grandma looking at little animals like that just in your own backyard. And that's another way you can kind of enjoy animals. I don't recommend picking up wild animals in your backyard or otherwise, but you can observe them, butterflies, whatever's back there in your yard, just kind of take a look and enjoy them and appreciate them for the job that they do for the planet. But I've always been fascinated with really any kind of animal. And always enjoy going to the zoo from a baby all the way up to now. I'm not a baby anymore. I'm just a baby. Right. But anyway, to each his own, right? Maybe you think I'm a baby, but Iggy's the baby today. But I've enjoyed animals all my life, and since before I can remember. And part of the job is learning all about the world around you and becoming empathetic about different species and what they go through and what they think about and what they have to do to survive and what they enjoy and their different personalities and things like that. So if you guys have any questions about anything at all, feel free to not be shy and go ahead and ask your question. We do want to keep it family friendly, you guys out there. We have all sorts of ages watching, including little ones with their family. So we always want to keep it nice and family friendly. So hello over on Instagram. I'll do my very best to see from a distance your comments and questions. How old is Iggy? That's a great question. We'll start over there. So Iggy is actually one of our rescue animals. We do have several rescue animals or rehomed animals, et cetera, et cetera. And Iggy, we don't know his past that much. So we've had him for a few years now. So I think he's at least maybe 5 or 6 years old, but we do not know. Guinea pigs can potentially live 10 to 12. That would be very old. And I think the oldest was even older than that. I always forget what the number is, but I know that there's some that live even older than that. That's very old for a guinea pig. So he's not old yet. He's probably middle-aged. We don't know his age at all. Just that he's an adult and that we know how long we've had him. So that's it. We got him as an adult. He definitely wasn't that young. He definitely wasn't a baby or anything like that. Our other guinea pigs, the 3 of them, we got around the same age and around the same time. So those 3 guys are around 3 years old, and Iggy's probably 4 or 5 or 6 years old. But we really don't know. So he's one of our rescues. And that actually applies to a lot of our animals. If we don't know their birthdays, especially animals like cold-blooded animals like creepy crawlies, reptiles, things like that. It's really hard to know how old they are if you don't have like some sort of solid record, vet record, birthday, breeder tells you, etc. You just have to guess because it's not any one thing that you can kind of go by to know their age. But he is definitely an adult. So you said that your piggy, what's your piggy's name? I would love to know. Is 6.5 years old. So yours, I don't know if it's a he or a she, and Iggy are around the same age. They're just middle-aged adults. So back in the day, that used to be around their top age was like 6 to 7. But now we know they can live a lot longer with better care. If you guys have any questions about pet care, let me know. I'd be happy to help you. First to join my class, thank you so much for being here, Pronil. Over on Facebook, you guys are watching from all sorts of different social media tonight, which is pretty cool. Shall we give Iggy a little snack for being such a good, handsome man? Let's give him a little treat. This is something he barely ever gets. Apple. So he's going to be really excited to get his apple. Yum. So guinea pigs can have fruits on a special occasion just for treats, but they should not have it every single day. And they should be getting mostly a diet of Timothy hay or orchard hay. They can get alfalfa for treats, but alfalfa should not be their staple hay. Timothy hay and orchard grass hay are the best 2 options. That's going to be for them to graze on 24 hours a day. Guinea pigs are actually awake for 20 hours a day and sleep a total of around 4 hours a day in sparse naps throughout the day and night. They aren't really an animal that's going to be doing a lot of resting. They're up a lot and they're grazing a lot and they're going to the bathroom a lot and they're peeing a lot. So if it happens tonight, I warned you, but they need to be eating at all times. So grazing on hay is the most healthy food you can provide them. But guinea pigs also do need a little bit of leafy greens or some sort of vegetable. They can have broccoli. They can have all sorts of stuff. You have to do your research. And then they can have fruit for treats, but he almost never gets fruit. So I'm sure he's pretty excited to get the fruit tonight. Aren't you, Iggy? You're so handsome. He's like, this is absolutely delicious. Now, something that guinea pigs do need as well, which it makes them a little bit different than a rabbit in their care, is going to be vitamin C. So vitamin C can actually be given in vitamin form, liquid form, or even like a crushed up pill, like chewable thing for kiddos. You can get vitamin C for kids, and that's fine to give over their food if you want. But the best way that I found to do that is to just get them a guinea pig pellet that already has vitamin C in it. And the best brand, in my opinion, that's available to most of the world is going to be Oxbow. Oxbow pellets are probably the best formulated Timothy pellet you can find at your local pet store. Not a sponsor, but maybe will be someday. But it actually is infused with vitamin C in their pellets. Now, pellets should not be given freely all the time. That can make them very fat. These guys are already potato shaped, so we don't want to make them too wide, right? That can actually shorten your guinea pig's life expectancy quite a bit. But they only get 1/8 of a cup, and that is a measuring cup, not like a cup. Don't do that. Don't do 1/8 of a drinking cup. No. 1/8 cup, which is super small, per guinea pig per day. And we give our guinea pigs their pellets in the evening, and that's how they get their vitamin C source. But there's multiple ways to do the same thing. So you can do it different ways. But in my opinion, that's the easiest way. And they really enjoy it, and they do eat it. All the things that you didn't ask, but hopefully you wanted to know about guinea pig care. And so anyway, so he doesn't really see fruit a whole lot because fruit has a lot of sugar, and we don't want to make them too chunky and high on sugar all the time. We want to keep them nice and healthy, right? Healthy snacks. And it's so nice to see Viviana on Twitch instead of Instagram, although you're more than welcome to go back and forth on Instagram, or maybe your kiddos can be on Instagram and you can be on Twitch, whichever you prefer. We are very new to Twitch, so if you know of any Twitch users out there that would enjoy some animal content, please refer them to us, and that will help us out quite a bit to get more followers. Yes, I know we are live now. As you can see on most of our platforms, we can actually highlight your comments. Instagram, I can't do that, but you guys should be able to see each other's comments over there during the live, and then they go away afterwards. I do always save the live, as long as it lets me, to our feed on Instagram. And once again, we actually hit 5,000 followers on Instagram this week. So hooray, let's get more. 5,000 isn't enough. We want to hit 10,000 tomorrow. Just kidding. No, but that's pretty exciting. And we're very grateful to have so many followers, loving our animals and appreciating what we do, especially getting us through the entire pandemic and everything. It's still ongoing, but much better now as far as business goes. But that was one way that we actually stayed working and able to take care of our animals, was to be able to go on virtual means and things like that, social media. We built up all of that to let people know who we are, let people know what we provide, because let's be honest, this isn't really a job where a lot of people are familiar with what the heck we do. You say mobile zoo and they're like giraffes, elephants, tigers, and we say no, it's more like smaller animals that come and visit you for events and classroom programs and things like that. And so once we explain it to people, they're like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. And they tend to kind of wrap their brain around it a little bit. But you prefer fuzzy animals? I know the rabbit is Viviana's favorite. Sandor the rabbit. Do you like Iggy as well? I'm sure you do. He's pretty fuzzy. He's got more hair than fur. There's some cute rabbit emojis. Thank you for the emojis. Yes. Everybody has their favorites. My favorite animals happen to be snakes, but that doesn't mean that I don't like the furry or feathered animals too. In fact, I love all of them. There's just a few species that I don't personally aspire to own here once in a while. I mean, obviously the larger ones that don't make any sense and don't make sense for them to be held in our care. That wouldn't be fair to them, and that wouldn't make sense for our job, right? But that doesn't mean I don't like those animals, and it doesn't mean I don't understand that they have a purpose. Yes, Nikki, you can absolutely ask questions about the animal. Nikki's over on Facebook. Definitely, you can ask questions about the animal anytime. Absolutely. Very, very welcome to ask questions as long as they're family friendly, but you can feel free to stump me with questions. Yes, the rabbit is definitely your favorite. Yay, Twitch. Twitch is new to me. I literally never get on Twitch, but it's pretty exciting to be here for our business once in a while, and it's exciting to be over on Instagram too. Someone's asking, Pro Neil, hi, will Clay be a guest again? I liked his visit. Yes, Clay is one of our very good friends. He actually works way over at Abilene Zoo. Abilene is a few hours away from us here in San Antonio. So he doesn't live here anymore. Clay actually used to live here in San Antonio, and he worked for many, many years over at SeaWorld doing lots of different jobs over there. That's how me and Clay actually met in the first place. I worked at SeaWorld a long time ago. I was a tour guide, an animal specialist, and educator over there. all kinds of things. We usually, when you work at SeaWorld in the animal departments, you do multiple jobs. But it was so much fun. But we met that way. He was in a different department than me, but it's kind of like a small family over there. Working at SeaWorld is kind of like going to a really friendly and nice private school, to be honest. So you get to know everybody's friends and family. So I met a lot of my very dear friends that I still consider some of my best friends over there at SeaWorld. But he actually has moved on to a different job, and he works over at the Abilene Zoo. He does some really cool work over there. So make sure and follow Clay's channel and follow the Abilene Zoo to keep up with Clay. But I'm sure that Clay will be back on the show at some point, because he is definitely one of our favorite guests. That is one episode that we like to rerun sometimes or just replay. That is a fun one. Good question. Yes, we are kind of like a little community. The animal field is kind of like a community. And for the most part, most of us are very supportive of each other. And as long as, the other person's doing good work for animals and we're all, vaguely the same page, we definitely want to promote each other and support each other. And that's something that Clay was doing for us and that we were doing for Clay. We were actually at the rodeo here in San Antonio together with Clay. Clay helped us out to get that particular gig. And that was very much appreciated. Clay is a lot of fun. Hey, how are you? We're doing fine. We're getting through just like everybody, right? It's summertime. It's pretty hot here in South Texas. I don't know if any of you guys are from here specifically in San Antonio, but it's hot. It's super hot and typically pretty dry, although we're expecting some rain from, the hurricane down south to hopefully come up here and water our plants and things. And but most of the time in South Texas, it's pretty dry and hot, and on occasion it gets humid. Here's a good question. Will we see Loki or Thor? You're a Loki and Thor fan. Not tonight. We actually brought, we meaning us here, you and I together, you and I, Iggy, we actually brought 3 animals on the show, which I will actually bring out all at once, that get along all together for once. Normally I bring out an animal kind of one by one and teach about them. But after I address some of these comments and questions, I'm actually going to attempt to have a few animals out here at the same time, because the 3 animals joining us today are animals that get along just fine for the most part. They're never left alone unsupervised. But in the petting zoo, for example, these animals will definitely be together temporarily. Yes. What is that? Iggy is adorable. Thank you. I'm trying to find this comment. Nom nom nom, Iggy, super cute. Oh, somebody, I lost it, but somebody was asking, what is this? This is an Iggy. Iggy is a Peruvian guinea pig. I'm going to scoot back a little bit so you guys can see him. There we go. Oh my goodness. Iggy, show your little face. Iggy is a Peruvian guinea pig, and that means he is a special breed of guinea pig. He is purebred, and he is a red and white long-haired Peruvian guinea pig. Peruvian guinea pigs have long, silky, straight hair, and they always have a little kind of like spike in the front. I call it his unicorn horn. He looks like a little My Little Pony unicorn. Super cute. And they even have little pointy cheeks, so it's almost like a 3-pointed star in the front. That is standard of the breed too. Iggy is a rescue, and I don't know a ton about the breeding and all of that of guinea pigs. I'm very new to the guinea pig world. I have cared. Oh, you guys. Iggy is basically a Star Wars character. He makes little purrs and all kinds of cute little noises, and he is just so special and sweet. Who's Clay? Clay is one of my colleagues. He works over at Abilene Zoo now, but he is a friend of mine that also works with animals. We actually do have an episode that is banked on YouTube, Facebook, and some others where you can see me and Clay together talking about animals. We were comparing and contrasting animals that make good pets versus animals that don't make good pets. Speaking of which, Iggy is a guinea pig, and guinea pigs can be pets often, right? And they're pretty good pets, but they're very messy. They're higher maintenance than most people expect when they impulse buy them. And they definitely shouldn't just be purchased for a child on impulse. In my opinion, no pet should be just purchased for a child on impulse or otherwise, unless the child is old enough and older to be able to care for that animal, unless it's a family ordeal where the animals are being cared for by multiple people. That is a lot better. But this is a guinea pig, in case anybody was wondering. Iggy is pure cute. He's super cute. I thought you said pure cute. He is pure cute, and he is super cute at the same time. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Oh, here is, thank you for sharing. This isn't me. This is somebody behind the scenes, but it's got my photo on there because it's us. But this is actually Clay's channel. So it's going to be on YouTube. It's called The Wild Side with Clay. He's also on Instagram, and he's all over the place as well. Facebook, whatever you like the best. All right. Are any of you guys still on Facebook? I see a few of you actually commenting from Facebook. So I guess some of you like Facebook, which is totally fine. I get on there on occasion, but my latest and most favorite app that I get on the most is going to be TikTok. TikTok is my favorite. It's very addicting. He's a toupee with legs. He is indeed. He looks like a walking wig. So I think we should go ahead and see how it goes with having multiple animals out here. I'm trying to make sure you guys over on most of our social media can see the animals. Let's go ahead and bring out our second animal. And this is going to be his first time on the show / channel. And I believe this is the first time we've actually officially announced him. But he is one of our newest rescue animals. And he is a tortoise. And I think I mentioned him a little bit. I think so already. You know, sometimes I forget what I say here on the show. But look at this cutie pie. So you might have seen Shelton John, one of our red-footed tortoises. You might have seen the two baby tortoises, which are Rocket and Jet. And this is our very, very newest tortoise. And I think we're going to stop at 4. And his name is Daniel. Here's Daniel. He's picking up some of Iggy's hair, which can't be helped. But Daniel is another red-footed tortoise. And he is around 4 or 5 years old, I believe. The person that gave him to me is a good friend of mine, and she was just looking to rehome him. And he is wonderful. He is very meek and mild. He's still coming out of his shell, if you will. But red-footed tortoises and guinea pigs do get along with small increments of time and under supervision. We would never just kind of keep them together in one habitat because they wouldn't, you know, they're not the same care. A tortoise needs a lot of heat and a lot of ultraviolet light. We actually keep our tortoises out in the outside, in the sun to get natural light and things like that, to be able to get ultraviolet and proper heat as long as it's over 60 degrees. Now, the red-footed tortoise is one of the sweetest species of tortoise on the planet, in my opinion. They're also one of the prettiest, too. Aren't they beautiful? They have these beautiful red and yellow colors. There is such a thing as well as a yellow-footed tortoise, where they have yellow instead of red on their legs and head and things. And but these guys are very, very sweet. So they're a great kind of candidate for animal programs and animal therapy and things. Please don't eat him. Please don't eat him. Or me. So what we do to keep our tortoises really healthy and to keep their skin very moisturized, because these guys are, I'm telling you so many things at once, but the red-footed tortoise is a bright colored tortoise because they need bright colors to blend into their surroundings in South America, in the jungle. So for that reason, they actually thrive in humidity. And so we actually give them a little bit of an olive oil treatment. So he probably smells like olive oil. And so Iggy is like, can I eat him? Although Iggy is very gentle. I don't really anticipate him hurting Daniel at all. But he could give him a little lick, I guess. But we'll give you guys some more treats here in a little bit. Both of these guys are, of course, vegetarian type animals, so they can actually eat some of the same stuff, so it won't hurt them to share a meal just for today. But when we bring them out for petting zoos, they're going to kind of mingle in a pen, where it's usually outside, right, on the grass or something like that. And Iggy is very, very sweet to really any of the animals. He gets along with almost anyone and any animal. He is wonderful. But anyway, so this is Daniel. Daniel is such a cutie pie. He is definitely kind of the shyest of all 4 of our tortoises so far, but he's brand new and he's still technically in his quarantine from the other tortoises right now. That's about to be over, which is super exciting. He's about to go in with Shelton full time and to be able to be outside most of the time, which is so exciting and so important for a tortoise and to be able to thrive. Having a tortoise is a big commitment, even though they're not a dangerous animal by any means, really. This type of tortoise as well, they're not a large tortoise. And they're not destructive. They're not really a digging species that can dig out of your yard or tear your fence down or anything like that. Believe it or not, a lot of tortoise species can actually be so strong that they can knock over your fence, even if it's a big wood fence or any fence, really. They can just kind of plow right through them with their strong shells and stubbornness. But this species isn't really as destructive. They're not as strong. And they are not as big as well. So that's not really a factor. But as far as their care and being a pet, they really take a special household because they are going to live for around 60 or 70 years, ideally. And also they're extremely messy. They need very special care. They need the right diet. These guys are a vegetarian. They are herbivore. In the wild, they do get some protein sources from different means, but in human care, they really shouldn't be given any sort of animal protein, no eggs, no nothing. They're going to thrive on basically salad and grazing on outdoor weeds and grass. So there's a lot to consider when getting a pet of any reptile, but a tortoise is one of the longest lived, of course, and they need very, very good care to thrive. A lot of tortoises actually survive just fine under improper care, but that doesn't mean that they are thriving and doing well. That just means that they're still alive, right? So that is actually super common for a tortoise because they're so tough and they do survive through all sorts of different good and bad scenarios, right? But he is super cute. So he is actually a great animal ambassador already. I can just tell he is so sweet, which doesn't surprise me at all for the species. And all 4 of them have their own personalities. Maybe one of these live streams will have all 4 tortoises. As soon as Daniel is out of his quarantine period, we will go ahead and introduce them, and that'll be really exciting. Abilene is all right. Used to go shopping there. Yeah, I've actually haven't spent a ton of time in Abilene, but I would love to go visit Clay at the Abilene Zoo sometime soon. Yes. He has awesome hair. Thank you. I assume that you're talking about Iggy and not Clay. Yes. So what do you guys think of Daniel, the tortoise? He is super cute. He has a totally different kind of face than our other tortoises. I mean, he still looks similar, right? But he's got big, giant, I call them like anime eyes or Disney princess eyes. And he's so cute. He almost looks like a sea turtle in the face. Look you guys over here. Look how cute he is. He's so sweet. These guys are so sweet. A lot of people, when they see them in person, they get a little bit concerned that they're going to snap and bite. That is usually a turtle, not a tortoise. A tortoise can bite, but red-footed tortoises, I have never seen them bite a person other than maybe like a little test nibble on their shoe to see if it's food, but they're not going to hurt you. These are some of the most gentle and sweet tortoises to other living animals in general. They're wonderful. These guys are typically only going to eat plants, so they're not really going to have a whole lot of speed when it comes to a snap or a bite. They don't need to be fast because they eat things that don't move, like grass and bananas, right? Delicious bananas. Yum, yum. Here's a great question. Hello. What is the most exotic animal y'all have? Well, we go through this question a lot. The term exotic actually just applies technically to an animal that doesn't live here in the United States where we live, or if you live, say, in England, an exotic animal to you would be an animal from America that doesn't live in England. So, for example, a opossum or a raccoon would be exotic to Europe, right? That's the technical term for that. Exotic, let's see. This is an exotic. He lives in South America, not North America. But I think what you mean is the most, impressive, not pet type animal. I would probably say the least pet type animal that we currently have is going to be our Eurasian Eagle Owl. He was actually on the last live stream last week. You can check out our last stream to see Rango, our owl. He's one of the more special type of animals that doesn't usually occur in someone's home, for example. We've also got wood ducks. Wood ducks are not typically a pet in most households. You can still see ducks in people's households, but our wood ducks, our Carolina wood ducks, are actually a wild type of duck and not a domestic species. So by maybe that's what you mean, maybe non-domestic. This is not a domestic. A lot of our reptiles, of course, are not domestic. Technically, they're the same wild animal that they are in the wild. This, of course, is 100% domestic. Guinea pigs have actually been domesticated for over 6,000 years, probably a lot longer than that, but technically a different species for around 5,000 years. So more or less, which is pretty cool. So the Incas originally domesticated guinea pigs for food purposes and farming, way back when, before any of us were alive. And they were technically farming them in their villages for a long, long time, and eventually they turned into a different species. In fact, the guinea pigs out there in the wild, which are called cavy or cooey, or different names, of course, to whoever is from there, but usually cooey is what we would call them in the wild. Or wild cavy, C-A-V-Y or C-U-I, I believe is how you say cooey, or it could be C-U-Y, actually, I can't remember. But anyway, so it's pronounced cooey or cavy. But those original cooey or cavy that is the origin species to the domestic guinea pig that we all know and love, those guys are extinct now. They actually do not exist anymore, but there's many different types of similar species in the wild that look just like them, and we can kind of go by their appearance, natural behaviors, things like that to learn about their wild origin species. What was my favorite animal cartoon? I have way too many to name. That is a great question, Nikki. A wonderful question. I have so many. What was or is? I mean, The Lion King is one of my favorites ever. Favorite movies of all time, really. It's a perfect movie. The original Lion King, the original animated one from 1994. But I mean, I have so many animal movies and cartoons that I absolutely adore. We actually did another live stream. I keep talking about this, but we did another live stream where we talked about some of my favorite animal movies with live action animals. So maybe we need to talk about an animated animal movie list. I think that would be cool to talk about. The Lion King is probably my favorite out of all the animated cartoons. What about a show? Let's see. Animated show. Remind me some that are out there, and I'll tell you if it's one of my favorites. I love them all, to be honest with you. That sounds super cool. Thank you. Where am I located? We're actually in San Antonio, Texas. Yes. There's usually reptile rescues around everybody. So they're all out there. They're usually on Facebook. Jeff and Woody Woodpecker, one of your favorites. That's a good choice. I definitely watched all the Looney Tunes and things like that, all the silly ones. I like serious stuff too, so that's why I went straight to The Lion King, although Lion King has funny moments too, of course. Yes. Here's our website. Someone is reminding everyone, just in case you were wondering. It's our website, onceinawild.com. Yes, of course. Yes, no problem. You absolutely do not have to share your location on the live stream. We don't share our location exactly either. We actually don't have a visitable site yet. We would love to have a place where people can come and tour and rent space and enjoy our animals out where we are someday. That would be a long-term goal. We're very, very interested in that. But as of now, we operate out of our home, and our animals do live with us, which is great, but also a lot of work 24 hours a day, isn't it? Yes, of course. But we're in San Antonio, Texas. We're not going to give you our address, but of course. Our address isn't really listed, I don't think, anywhere either. Yes, absolutely. Now, if you guys ever want to know anything about our animal programs and how we can help you directly in your maybe neck of the woods, or if we want a Zoom to broadcast to you, we can do a private Zoom where you get to pick the animals and learn about the animals, and we have a fun conversation together. We can do that for classrooms or just because or whatever you want. If you're ever interested to learn more, go to onceinawild.com. Our contact number is there. You can actually reach out to us on the website and just leave a little a chat message over there if you want to. Of course, you can reach out to us on social media as well. The fastest way, though, is to go straight to our website and find the number and text the number. You can also do that, and I would be happy to share all that information with you. I am your contact person for all of that. As of now, I do almost all of that stuff. Okay. You guys have had awesome questions so far. So let me go ahead. We're going to try our very best to bring out a third animal. So remember, we have Iggy the Guinea Pig, our wonderful, sweet, amazing guinea pig. I want to talk about him a little bit before I bring out the next animal, because it might be a little chaotic out here once we get 3 animals, and I might forget to talk about this. Iggy is one of those animals that has he's become one of my very favorite friends that we have here once in a while. I am not a guinea pig person. I wasn't anyway, and now I am. I'm one of those people now. Guinea pigs were never really like an animal I was super excited to have in the zoo or work with, but Iggy is absolutely an angel in my life, and he is just the best. Aren't you, Iggy? Would you like a little scratch? He is so social. Not every guinea pig is like that. It's kind of similar to cats. I mean, some cats are extremely social and just can be your baby and love you all the time, and they just want all of your attention, and they're super charismatic and things. And some cats are just not into that. There's not their love language, so it just kind of depends. And some animals are like that in general. That's okay. Our animals have the right to be their own person, their own individual personality, and every animal, one animal to the next, same exact species, all have their own personalities. Now, animals as a species have tendencies, and we select our animals, or we make a choice to adopt the animals, et cetera, based on those tendencies, whether they're appropriate or not for the zoo, whether we can actually take care of them and take good care of them, and whether or not they're a good animal ambassador choice, right? So not every animal is a good choice for the zoo, for our zoo, maybe another zoo like Abilene Zoo or San Antonio Zoo or wherever, right? I've worked at several zoos with lots of different types of animals that would never fit into our zoo choices here. But it just kind of depends, right? But Iggy is one of those, just animals. Oh, we're having a little bit of connection issues on Instagram, so hopefully I'll be back and we'll be fine. But I was talking about how Iggy was a sweet surprise, a pleasant surprise, not an animal that I ever expected to be one of my favorites. My favorite animals are snakes. I really like birds as well. Birds have always been something I've gravitated towards as well. Not guinea pigs. I like some mammals just fine. Some I don't really care for that much personally. It's just not my thing. I just tend to like kind of the weird animals, like, well, weird, creepy crawlies, snakes, whatever. Usually animals that other people kind of find weird. I like them a lot. And I mean, I guess Iggy's kind of weird. Maybe that's why I love him. They're kind of strange. But yeah, he's just been such a cool animal. And I mean, I can't imagine not having him in our collection now. So without getting too emotional out here and getting sappy, I hope you love Iggy just as much as me. And I hope you love our new friend Daniel. I think he's doing a great job, even though he's hiding behind right here. We'll put him over here. And Iggy will continue to go ahead and sniff him and everything like that. And then let me make sure you guys don't have any other... Oh, here we go. SpongeBob, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hanna-Barbera cartoons like Looney Tunes and things. Garfield, Looney Tunes again. Is Hanna-Barbera not Looney Tunes? I thought it was all the same. DuckTales, Chip and Dale, Courage the Cowardly Dog. None of those are particularly my favorite, but I like all of those. Courage I never got super into because it was just something I never watched. SpongeBob. Is SpongeBob technically an animal cartoon? I guess it is. They're under the sea. He lives in a pineapple under the sea, Amanda. Of course he's an animal. He's a sponge. My favorite character in all of SpongeBob is Gary the snail. He is my favorite. So let's bring out a third animal. Ooh. Nothing happened, just the lid of the box of the animal with it. So this here is another reptile friend that typically joins us on a petting zoo encounter, and that's going to be Debbie the bearded dragon. Her name is Debbie. We've actually got 2 bearded dragons here at Once in a While. The other one's name is Eddie and Debbie. So we have a male and a female. They don't hang out and they don't live together because number 1, we don't want any illegitimate babies. Number 2, it's actually better for your bearded dragons to be kept apart. That is much safer. They can turn aggressive on one another. They can bite each other. Eddie in particular is extremely territorial, so I can't even imagine anybody living with Eddie. Debbie's a little bit more chill. We'll see how she does out here. She's usually great. Let's turn around Iggy. Turn around, Iggy. Whee! He wants to face me, I guess. Look at these 3 friends. How cute is this? 3 animals together. He's gonna give her a little nibble, I guess. Maybe we should give them some snacks. Let's try the snacks. We'll see if this ends up being okay. Okay, here you go, Iggy. Uh-oh, we don't want to steal from each other. Here, how about this? Here, right here, right here. There you go. Debbie is kind of a piggy as well, even though Iggy is the piggy, right? We'll see how this goes. Don't be chaotic. Oh, you guys are seeing too much behind the scenes over here. Oh my gosh. So bearded dragons, another common pet type animal that should be definitely under careful consideration before impulse buying. These guys are good pets for the right family, just like all 3 of these guys are good pets for the right family. They're not dangerous animals, but we have to make sure that it's actually appropriate for them to be in your care, that they're going to be under great care, that they are going to be, we're going to keep their well-being in mind, right? I don't know what Daniel wants, but I don't think it's lettuce or, this is romaine, by the way. I don't think it's romaine, lettuce, or apples. How about that, Debbie? Would you like apples? Debbie almost never gets apples. It would be like a little treat for her. How about that? Here. Yum. She may not even know what an apple is. I don't even know if she's ever had them before. So I just happened to have some sliced apples that were kind of left over. Daniel just wants to snuggle, I guess. He's the sweetest one out of the 3. He doesn't care about food. He just cares about love. That is so sweet. Debbie, come over here. Oh, I guess she's done. Maybe she's just taking a little pop. So Debbie the dragon, a bearded dragon, a pretty common pet lizard, but still has their issues. And I don't mean aggression or anything like that. They're actually great animals for handling and things like that. Typically humans are not harmed by them, nothing like that. But they tend to have some health issues. You're just going to eat what you don't have. How about this? There you go. They tend to have health issues if not properly taken care of. And even when you do your very best, they can still have health concerns and issues like any animal, right? So if you don't know what to look for, or you don't know what to test for, or you don't know how to properly take care of them, they can unfortunately have some of those health issues and not do very well in human care. They also are another animal like the tortoise that needs ultraviolet light all the time, as long as it's the daytime. turns off at night, of course, just like the sun. They also need heat, and they also need all sorts of special things. So you have to do a lot of research. I'm more than happy to help you with some of that information, but I can't do everything for you. So they're really just not for everybody. They're not a simple, like, just kind of easy pet that you can just adopt and throw in a tank and forget about them. That is definitely not the case. They do need quite a bit of cleanup. They need to be fed often. Bearded dragons are one of the type of lizards or reptiles that need to be fed a little more often than some other types of reptiles, like snakes, for example. Snakes are some of the easiest. Daniel is over it. He is leaving. I think he just wants to kind of look over at his surroundings across the room. What are you looking at, Daniel? But aren't they cute, all hanging out together? So if you book your own petting zoo, or even just a meet and greet or an animal encounter where, you know, these three animals are kind of hanging out, you know, they're your choices is what I mean to say. They can hang out together, and they're actually pretty good together. We all obviously make sure they're all being safe together, because that's very important. Daniel, come this way. Like how I sing to my animal. All right. Snake Discovery on Twitch. Yes, I'm very familiar with Snake Discovery. They are very famous in the animal world. Yes, yes, yes. Very nice people. I think it's Emily, right? Emily from Snake Discovery is basically exactly like that. I have met her before at a reptile convention. I'm pretty sure her name is Emily. Emily. Her and her husband started Snake Discovery as just a simple YouTube channel. Yes, Emily. And I was like, wait, my brain is off, which happens a lot on the show. Look back at all of our blooper stuff. But anyway, I'm only human, you guys. Daniel just wants to come over near us, I guess, near me. Oh, Daniel, you are so sweet. I knew you would be a good fit. He's like, I don't really care about this lettuce and things. By the way, lettuce isn't necessarily something that a tortoise or even bearded dragon or other animals that eat greens should get all the time. Lettuce is typically just kind of full of water. And remember, the apples are just treats as well. So this is just kind of a treat for them today. When we give Debbie her greens and salad, which she does get a couple times a week or so, and they're going to be more like dark leafy greens, like collard greens and mixed baby green, things like that. This is more just like water and yumminess for them to enjoy on the live stream together. We're all in this together. That's right. That's right. So yes, there, you know, it's not a competition to have, you know, other animal companies doing the same things that we're doing, more or less. It's all one big happy family, as far as I'm concerned. I think we all can support each other as long as what they're doing is a good thing, right? We can definitely condone you guys watching her as well. But I'm super familiar. I'm a big YouTube watcher, so I've been watching YouTube stuff for a while, and that's one of the channels that I used to watch all the time. Yes, yes, yes. They look like they're having so much fun together. I hope so. We don't want to personify them too much and turn them into humans, little humans, although I'm sure they're having a good time eating their snacks. But yes, they look like they are having a fun time. They'd be having a feast. Someone says. That is so cute. How are you guys doing over on Instagram? This is Amanda, and this is Once on a Wild Wednesday. It's a little bit of a casual experience today, where we're being a little less formal and just kind of having a little Q&A. Most everybody is commenting from Twitch tonight, which is pretty exciting because Twitch is new to Once in a Wild. Fairly new. Instagram is not new. We actually hit 5,000 followers on Instagram. Hooray! It makes me want to throw a little celebration to celebrate because I'm so proud of what we've done in the last few years. We're a very new company. I don't know if you guys know. Those of you that aren't as familiar with Once in a While, we are fairly new. We're actually very new. I have been working with animals for 20 plus years at different jobs and different positions and different sorts of things. I actually went back to school kind of late in life for zoology. You want some apple? Go ahead. Here, that might be a little bit too big. Oh, you want the lettuce? Okay. She's like, I'm not sure about this apple here. Iggy has crunching teeth where he can actually chew up hard fruits and things, whereas Debbie kind of needs a little bite-sized piece. A little softer and more bite-sized and appropriate size for her little mouth to eat. She still has chomping teeth, but they're not as strong as a rodent's teeth, right? So we're very proud of what we've accomplished in the last couple of years, especially considering the times at hand and everything. So it's very exciting to have 5,000 Instagram followers and more. Right? Growing every day. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're gonna try it, huh? That's a little bit big. Ooh, let's see what happens. Iggy, let's watch and see what happens. Why don't you eat this piece? She's like, never mind, that was too big. Here's a smaller piece. And an even smaller one here. How about that? Aw, you guys enjoying seeing the three animals just kind of hanging out? And again, we can do a petting zoo experience where you got animals mingling together, kind of like this. Or we can even do a meet and greet. They're meeting and greeting right now, where you can kind of approach our animals a little bit more casually and just enjoy them at your leisure. You can certainly still learn things at a meet and greet, like animal information, just kind of like how you guys are learning right now. You're just talking to me and learning. And so maybe we're simulating that tonight. But I thought I would do something a little bit different because we got to switch it up sometimes and handle this a little bit differently sometimes. That way we can vary it up for you guys. But if you're just joining us, my name is Amanda. This is Iggy, the Peruvian Guinea Pig. This is Daniel trying to run out of my hands. He's a red-footed tortoise. He's our newest red-footed tortoise. He's around 4 or 5 years old. Iggy, we don't know his age, but he's around probably 5 or 6 years old. Debbie's another, actually a rescue of ours. She's a hand-me-down reptile. So we think she's around 5 as well. Pretty sure that's what the previous owner said. She was around 5. Please don't battle royale over here. So you have plenty of treats right in front of you. Here. Is that better? And then we'll have little pieces for Debbie to consume. Now, this is not going to make them overweight. That's another reason why I picked these treats. They're mostly just watery, lettucey treats. Sorry, Debbie. I whacked her with lettuce. I'm sure she's fine. I love all of y'all's emojis over here. Snake Discovery knows about us? How? Wait. Wow. Look at this. So Chick 06H. I hope I'm saying that handle correctly. Snake Discovery actually helped me find y'all on their Twitch. And this is my first real stream I have accompanied. That is so cool. Ricky says, Snake Discovery knows about us? Brian Barshak knows about us too. That's pretty cool. Big fan of Rex, the tiny alligator, the rescue alligator. That is pretty cool. Oh, I see. How are we on there? I need to learn more about Twitch, apparently. I'm learning today. Oh, yes, that wasn't me. That's actually Ricky. Ricky is behind the scenes pretending to be me. That's just my profile picture, of course. See, look. It's Once in a Wild Zoo, and Ricky's part of that, of course. Me and Ricky are the founders of the company. Ricky's usually behind the scenes. I'm usually in front of the camera. I'm also behind the scenes a lot too. Yes, so we'll figure this out later, I guess. That's enough talk about that. But that's pretty cool. I'm so glad people are finding us in many different ways. The internet is a strange place sometimes, but it's also a great place to find interests and things like that. What do you guys think about all these cute animals? Here's a good question. Pro Neil is asking over on Instagram. I can barely see your question, but I do see it. It says, can a tortoise feel if you scratch the shell? What do you guys think? Do you think that Daniel can feel when I scratch his shell? So a tortoise's shell on the top is actually a keratin layer. Keratin is the same as your fingernails and, of course, your hair, but they don't have hair because they're reptiles, right? He has Iggy's hair all over him tonight, but he does not grow his own hair. But keratin is what their fingernails are made out of, their scales, and their shell. So it's a keratin layer. He's got a keratin layer on his belly and a keratin layer on his back that is very thick. And under that is going to be a layer of bone on top and bottom to protect him as well. And throughout is going to be, well, his spine is connected to the shell as well, connected to that flat bone layer too. And he's also got ribs that are connected to the shell too. So it is literally part of his body and part of him. Nothing he can ever replace, take off. If it gets injured, it's part of his body. So he is injured too. But anyway, that's a little dark. Sorry. It's part of his body. So what do you think? Do you think he can feel it or not? So I will tell you right now, these guys, underneath that keratin and throughout the bone layer, that's kind of a flat bone layer there. It's like a flattened section, are nerve endings all the way through all of that. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think, Ken? Thank you for the tattoo compliment. What do you guys think about the feeling ability? Yes or no on a tortoise? So do we think he can feel or do we think he cannot feel? It's definitely part of his body and he has nerve endings. So what do we think? Most of my tattoos are animals I worked with. Not to correct you, but That's not quite true. I've never worked with hummingbirds. I have hummingbirds on my sleeve up here. I've never worked with hummingbirds. I've never worked with a green mamba either, and I have a green mamba tattoo. I think those are the only two that I have not worked with. All the rest of my animal tattoos are animals I do enjoy working with and have worked with. Yes, you think you can feel. So yes, you are correct. So a tortoise can definitely feel. You know how we know this? Well, we can see them responding when we just reach up and touch them or scratch them. Also, they scratch themselves in the wild or as just a captive tortoise, whatever. They will actually go and find the edge of something, a rock, a tree that's fallen over. They're not climbing trees, but maybe a fallen log or something like that. And they will, he's purring, and they will actually kind of scratch their backs up against things. So they do that on their own, and they certainly respond to scratches. Now, they don't really necessarily always respond in the same way. They might just move away from you. They might just be like, oh, you're there. And they also might just kind of like do like a little bit of a response where they kind of go back and forth, and you can tell they're really enjoying the scratches. Typically they do seem to enjoy it, which is another reason why they're a great candidate for the petting zoo experience, right? So not only are they not dangerous to humans, all three of these animals are non-dangerous to humans, nothing to worry about there. They don't bite, they don't hurt you at all, nothing like that. They do have mouths and they could bite, but they don't. But we also have to consider, is it enjoyable for the animal? Not only the species, but for the individual. So tortoises typically do seem to enjoy tactile stimulation, if you will, petting, touching, scratching, all of those things. And they don't seem to have a problem with being around people and being able to be touched and scratched and loved. So they're super appropriate for that. Sandor, our rabbit, is a great example of that. Sandor is one of the most needy animals that we have, right, Ricky? He actually is quite the diva. If you leave him alone too long, he will come looking for attention. So he's a great candidate for people to come up and give him attention, right? The ducks are a little bit standoffish sometimes, but they enjoy kind of mingling and being next to humans. They're not as tactile or enjoying pets, but they do tolerate pets every now and then. And most of the time, the ducks just enjoy like kind of being around you. And bearded dragons are very tolerant of people touching them as well. They're great candidates for that. Very, very safe for them, safe for you. So that is definitely something to consider when we pick the species that we have, right? Number one is going to be space. Do we have the space for them? And can we take care of them here in our space? Here comes Daniel, like a little stubborn rock walking around. I'm going to plow right through. Space, care in general. We want to make sure and take good care of them. We don't just want them just because we want them. That's kind of selfish, right? We want to make sure that we can take care of them to the best of our ability. So we don't just get every animal in sight. We also have to consider cost. If we do not have the means to take care of the animals, then we don't adopt the animals. It's as simple as that. We don't want to be in a bind where we have to then rehome the animals, because that's not what we're about here once in a while. This has been kind of fun. What do you guys think about this? I think I'm going to start picking up these treats. We'll let Iggy finish this little pile if he wants it. I think everybody's kind of satiated and satisfied over here. Yeah, thank you for the tattoo compliment. A lot of us zookeepers and zoologists and things like that, we have tattoos of the animals we love. It could be animals we've worked with. Usually it is. It could be animals we just admire and some of our favorites. I have so many animals on me. Not just here, but on my skin in a tattoo. Pretty cool. This is my latest tattoo. I don't know if you guys can see from far away on Instagram, but it's one of our birds, a cockatiel. Pretty cockatiel. My favorite tattoo so far. You used to have ducks that would chase you if you didn't chase them. Ducks can learn to be very social with humans. They're already a social species, right? Did you know that all the breeds of duck, besides one, actually come from the same species, which is the mallard? Everybody knows what a mallard is, with the green head and the colorful body. And then the females are mostly brown, right? And they have blue wings. So mallards are one of the dimorphic duck species. There's many dimorphic species of ducks and birds. Dimorphic means they look different from one another between male and female. But mallards are the origin species for most domesticated duck breeds, except for one. I think it's just one, and it's the Muscovy duck. Muscovies are very similar to the wild type. They're still kind of the same in captivity and the wild. Muscovies are really cool. They kind of look like turkey ducks. So we have pecan ducks and we have wood ducks. And the pecans are the ones that most often join us on Animal Program because they're very tame and tolerant of people. Also, pecan ducks, unfortunately, are a very heavy species. They're just bred that way. And so they cannot physically fly. So they're a lot more practical to bring different outdoor spaces and things like that. Whereas our wood ducks can fly. So they have to be contained, or else they may fly into a tree or something like that. Wood ducks are one of the tree ducks. They're called wood ducks because they reside in trees and nest inside of wood cavities, so hollow trees. Pretty cool. Oh my gosh, how cute. You guys are telling me all about your duck. Thank you. Thank you for saying my tats are gorgeous. My tattoos. Thank you. I'm so glad that tattoos are becoming, it's okay. I'm just moving you over. I'm so glad that tattoos are becoming more common. I think that's, oh, he's trying to get attention from Debbie, but I don't necessarily want him to go face to face together just in case of an accident. I'm so glad that tattoos are becoming more, I say more common and more accepted, but I think humanity just went through a wave of unacceptance for a little while. I mean, tattoos are an ancient thing, really, but thank you very much. Is the myth true that rice can harm wild birds? Yes, rice and bread as well. Rice is a different story, but rice can actually expand inside of a bird's digestive system. It could be the first part, which is the gizzard or other places, and actually make the bird like kind of expand and get really, really full of air, and it's not good for them. So rice, when it's dry and then you add water, can expand and blow up, essentially full of gas. You want this? You can have it. Full of like air and gas, so it's really bad for birds to eat rice. Bread is also another one that expands and also fills them up too much, and bread can prevent ducks and other birds from getting the nutrients that they need. So it's really important not to feed any birds bread or rice. That's a great thing to bring up. So it is not a myth at all. It is true. I'm trying to read your comment over here while juggling Debbie and Iggy. Oh, sorry, Iggy. I didn't mean to boop you. Here's a good question. Why are tortoises less tolerable or tolerant of cooler weather climates compared to turtles? Here in Canada, hello from Texas to Canada. Wow, I actually have family in Canada. I don't know them, but my dad actually was born in Newfoundland, Canada. He's a Newfie, and his mom is from Newfoundland. They're no longer with us, but we have family in my bloodlines from Canada. So hello. My last name is Winter, if you know any Winters over there. Let's see. Here in Canada, we have plenty of turtles, but no tortoises. So yes, typically tortoises are going to be more warm weather. Turtles in general are more warm weather too. I don't know necessarily the reason why, but I know a lot of water swimming turtles and things like that, they can actually tolerate cold water and they can tolerate colder temperatures because usually they're going to bermate, which means hibernate. So a reptile sometimes can hibernate depending on the species and depending on their evolution and being able to tolerate different types of weather climates. Some reptiles are designed for the desert. Some reptiles are designed for the jungle, like our friend Daniel right here. His species is from the jungles of South America, and they would not tolerate or handle cold temperatures at all. I don't really know the why answer to tell you the reason. I don't know if that's like a deep question or you're just wondering maybe like a little bit more information. I don't really know why, but I know that that is true. A lot of reptiles do definitely handle cold weather better than others. Not every reptile is necessarily going to pass away in cold weather. They can either hibernate, shut down their body activity, and survive that way. A lot of amphibians do that as well. And a lot of amphibians, say from areas of the world that have two seasons, the wet and the dry season, they'll actually do the same thing, but during the dry season, and they'll kind of go underground and just sleep. They'll sleep the hard times away. I wish I could do that sometimes. Yes, bread can definitely hurt birds. We definitely don't want to feed birds bread. Every now and then isn't bad, but I would not recommend it at all. It's just really not good for them at all. There's many other alternative choices. You can feed most birds bird seed or chicken feed. That's an easy one. You can feed ducks at the pond. You can feed them cracked corn. You can feed them frozen peas that are thawed out. They'll usually thaw out in the water, and that's fine for them to eat. You can feed them dried mealworms is another good alternative. Dried crickets. You can get dried mealworms. It's hard to talk. You can get dried mealworms or crickets at Tractor Supply or any feed store or pet store, or even Walmart has them sometimes. Any of your fishing stores and things like that. Yeah. Alberta. Yeah, I know Canada's huge, so it's not like if you're from Canada, you know everyone, right? I'm from Texas, and Texas is huge too. You're gonna send us a beaver to be an animal ambassador. That is a very high maintenance animal. Another rodent, just like the guinea pig. So today, if you're just joining us, we have Iggy the guinea pig, who is a rodent. We have our beautiful tortoise. His name is Daniel, our newest red-footed tortoise. We actually have 4 red-footed tortoises total, and he's one of them. A bearded dragon lizard. Her name is Debbie. But a beaver is actually one of the largest species of rodent in the world. I think they're the second largest. The first largest is a South American, like this guy, species, which is called the capybara. And the North American beaver, I believe, by weight and size, is the second largest. And the third largest, I believe, is the Cape or African porcupine. There's a few different species of porcupine and subspecies of porcupine in Africa. One of my favorite rodents. They're pretty cool. Rodents are one of those animals that people, you hear the word rodent and you think, ooh, a rat, a mouse. There's so many more rodents than that. Porcupines are my favorite rodents. Pretty cool. I'm not interested in a beaver. Beavers are really cute, but they require a lot of maintenance due to the fact that they like water and they often go to the restroom in their water and things like that. So there's a lot of filtration and cleaning that you have to consider when getting a beaver in your zoo. But I have worked with a beaver before. Yes, there is a video. Yes, I just watched this not too long ago. There's actually a video about a tortoise. It's a tortoise, actually. Oh, no, you're right. It is a turtle. But there's another story about a missing tortoise that actually survived, just kind of getting lost, and then the family discovered them again. I think there's several stories like that. But yes, you're absolutely right. There is a turtle that burmates in the winter and in Minnesota in snake discovery. Yes. That's so cool, right? A lot of reptiles actually do survive that way during the cold weather. I don't know why. Why is a hard question to answer and address, but I do know that it happens. Capybara are adorable. Capybara are actually kind of similar to a beaver as well in the fact that they're an aquatic rodent. So beavers and capybara like to swim, and they're very messy. They're pretty cool. It is so nice to see everybody on Instagram and Twitch and all over the place tonight. Thank you so much for being here. We're not going to be on too much longer. This has been a fun kind of casual live stream tonight. We are going to be expecting to do some reruns coming up next week and the week after. If you haven't seen those episodes before, that's going to be new to you, but I just want to make sure that you guys are aware we are going to be out of town, so we do have to go ahead and do that, and then we will return with another actual live stream following those 2 reruns. So I hope you guys have had a lot of fun. I really appreciate all the Twitch followers lately and all the comments tonight. I hope that we have had fun together. I hope you've had as much fun as us. And Iggy, one of my favorites ever. Daniel, a new favorite. Debbie, a crazy dragon over here trying to jump off the cliff. I think she's just looking for more snacks. And all 3 wonderful in their own way. And again, all 3 are part of either an animal encounter of any kind, like a show and tell. All 3 of these animal species can be part of a show and tell, no problem. All 3 of these animals can actually be a part of animal therapy. And all 3 of these animals can be a part of a meet and greet or petting zoo. So there's a lot of versatility with these species because they're so hands-on, safe to be around anyone. We do, of course, have other animals in our collection that aren't as hands-on and aren't as, of course, pettable, touchable, things like that. But we've got all kinds of animals for everybody and every occasion, and we're always improving and growing all the time. The more you support us, the more we can grow, and of course, we can take care of our animals and things like that. We do rely on your donations, your tips, your sponsorships, your purchases of animal encounters, things like that. And you can even donate animal wish list items on Amazon. To find all that information, and if you'd like what you've seen today, you can visit onceinawild.com/donate and see all the options to help us out. And the very best way is just by, of course, purchasing your own animal encounter, so you can get to meet the animals on your own and customize your encounter for yourself and get something in return. You cannot eat Debbie. Debbie is not a snack. No, she is not. That is not food. Debbie is friend, not food. I will just pet Iggy instead. Did you know that guinea pigs purr when they really like pets? They can also grumble at each other. They can also squeal. Guinea pigs get their name most likely from the fact that they squeal like a pig. And also they used to most likely cost about 1 or 2 guinea in Europe when they were brought over by settlers to Europe for pets, and they used to sell them as kind of like a pig alternative for livestock and also pets. You're very welcome. It's so nice to have you. You like otters? Otters are pretty cool. Otters are closely related to ferrets, and we have ferrets here once in a while. Our ferrets are definitely hands off to the public because they are feisty fellows and definitely not 100% safe with little fingers and little children and anyone. So we typically just hold the ferrets and let you guys learn about them and take photos and things like that. So we're very careful with animals like that. Wombats are another really cool animal. I've never worked with wombats, and I don't think I've worked with capybara as well. Definitely a beaver, but not a capybara. That is a pretty, common animal in zoos, but I personally have not worked with them. I work with all sorts of different types of animals, though, but not every animal species in the world, of course. Well, it's been wonderful to see you guys. I hope to see you next time, whenever that may be. And another way you can help us out for free is by just following like you already are, and by watching like you already are, and by telling your friends and family who love animals all about us. And check out our past videos. We want to make sure and have more views over there on our past live streams and things. We've done well over 100 of them. And if I'm sure there's something over there, if you haven't watched them already, that you're going to learn about other animals in our collection. And we're always trying to improve. So you guys let us know if you have any animal suggestion videos. Sometimes we plan and we have like a full plan, like a theme. Sometimes we have specific information that we talk about depending on what's going on. And sometimes we just, wing it and have 3 animals out at once. So I think it went pretty well, considering it's never happened before on the channel, to my knowledge. I don't remember if we've had 3 different species out at once. Certainly of the same species, we've had a couple of them. I'm not sure what Daniel's doing over here. I think he's in love with Iggy, which is super cute. Iggy, Daniel, and Debbie out here together. Friends, friends, friends. Oh, maybe not so much. Iggy's like, get him away from me. It is time. Okay, so I think that's all our animals are going to tolerate for the night. I think they did great. I certainly enjoyed everything. Thank you for the conversation. It will be a rerun next week, yes. Thank you for asking. So we are actually going to be out of town, so I won't physically be in the studio, but we will definitely play something for you guys to enjoy, okay? We try to do that every single time that we can't go live. Okay, you guys, it's been great. I'm going to play our closing song, and you guys just enjoy, and we'll see you guys next time. We are nothing close to ordinary, but we love to be your friend. Hold our hands and let's have fun together, singing as loud as you can. Everybody singing once in a while. Together. Once in a while. I want to hear you say once in a while. Never fun for me and you. All right, we'll see you guys next time, same place, and different animals, I'm sure. So we'll catch you guys whenever that may be. Thank you so much. Bye.